Welcome to week 30. We're going to look at accidents, emergencies and illnesses. So here are the questions for this week. 3 of them actually come from Unit 2 on safeguarding and 1 comes from Unit 8 on health and safety. Let's read the questions. 2.2.1, identify the signs of ill health in children and young people. And this goes with 2.2.2, describe the actions to take when children or young people are ill or suffer a minor injury. 2.2.3, describe the actions to take in response to emergency situations, and they give 4 different ones we have to cover: fires, security incidents, missing children, and a medical emergency. And then the question from Unit 8 on health and safety, describe the procedures in place for dealing with accidents and emergency situations. This week there are going to be 2 worksheets, one on illnesses here and one down here on accidents and emergencies. Let's have a look at the first one. The first one is about common childhood illnesses, and to help you I've made you a spelling test. If you do the spelling test first by clicking on this video, you will get the answers for this worksheet. Let's have a look at the worksheet. So if you click there, here we go, recognising common illnesses, 2.1 and 2.2 from the safeguarding unit, Unit 2. So I have given you the signs and symptoms of 10 different childhood illnesses. Sometimes they might not be an illness. Sometimes it might be because the child's got special needs. You've got to try and work it out. So you're going to be the doctor, maybe. You could think of yourself as a doctor, or the school nurse, or a parent. Well, but actually you're the TA and you're looking at a child who just doesn't seem quite right. What is their problem? And you've got to say, what illness do you think it is? And what action would you take? So I've done the first one for you. A boy in your class sometimes seems to be switched off. You are not sure whether he is tired, bored, or something else. Could he have a medical problem? If so, what? And I have done the answer for you. I think he's got absence epilepsy. And I'm going to say a TA should talk to the teacher and the SENCO. Then they would have a meeting with the parents to discuss the things you've witnessed, and the parents might already know what's going on. They would make a plan with the school to support the child's medical needs. So we've said the diagnosis, what we think it is, and what action should be taken. Here are some of the answers. Not all of these, though, are in the answers, just so be careful. Some of them are not mentioned there. Most of these are the answers. And also, I'd like you to try and mention the parents, the class teacher, doctor, school nurse, safeguarding officer, if you think that's relevant, SENCO and optician. Try to fit all of these in somewhere. They don't have to go in every box, but when you've finished, have a look down there and see if you've mentioned all of those different people. They're the actions to take. Might be a letter home to the parents. You decide what you think the school would do. Okay, and the spelling test here will help you with lots of those answers and with your spellings. Let's have a look at the second worksheet. The second worksheet is going to cover the accidents, emergencies and different situations. So if you click on this one, you'll get to the second worksheet. Let's have a look here. So this is for 8.2.5 and 2.2.3. We're going to cover fires, security incidents, missing children and a medical emergency. And look, I've done the first one for you, missing child. I would like you to say, what do the schools do to prevent a child from going missing? Here's a whole load of ideas. And in case a child does go missing, what would you do? And I've done this on a school trip. If you read these 2 questions, they say describe. I have not written these in full sentences, so you'll need to read mine and put it into full sentences, but it'll give you the idea. And then you need to do fire. What is done in schools to prevent there being a fire? Keeping the school tidy, not having fire hazards lying around. And if there is a fire, what's the fire drill? I'm hoping you can all imagine a fire drill in school. The next one is a security incident. Maybe there's a fierce looking dog in the playground, or maybe there's an adult in the playground who looks threatening and is refusing to leave. Then the school would have to do a lockdown. What's done in the first place to prevent an adult or a dog from getting into the school building? And then CCTV cameras, people wearing badges. And then if there is a lockdown, if there is a security incident, what would the school do? How would they protect the children? It's kind of the opposite of a fire drill. Instead of getting everybody out of the school, they get everybody in, maybe to the hall or in their individual classrooms. And finally, we're going to do a medical emergency. And to do this one, you need to do the form on the next page. This is a copy of an accident or medical emergency report form. And you need to think of an accident or incident. You can choose from one of these. Just choose one. A broken bone. Did a child fall off the climbing frame and break their arm? A head injury. Again, could be falling off the playground equipment, or two children bumping into each other. Or you could choose diarrhea and vomiting. Lovely. Maybe a child having an asthma attack. Or do you know about anaphylactic shock? Is there a child in your school who has a peanut allergy? What would happen if they needed an EpiPen? So you've got to make, this is a case study. You're making up an imaginary situation. You can base it on a real one, or if you've not been involved in this, you can make it all up. So put in a pretend date, make up the name of the child, the parent and their phone number. Where did the accident happen? In the PE hall, or the incident? Was it in PE? Was it out in the playground? Make up two TAs who witnessed and dealt with the accident. So maybe your name because you witnessed it and the name of a first aider. Just make them up. And then you're going to describe what happened. You might want to start by saying what was done to prevent it happening. So there was good supervision in the playground, but even though you're supervising the children, they could fall off the climbing frame. And then what medical care was received? Did you do something yourself? Did you call a first aider? Was the child taken to hospital? What was done with the other children to keep them out of the way? And then you sign it at the bottom because you've filled in this form. Let's go back to Moodle and just make sure. Oh yeah, for the if you choose a medical emergency to go on that form, if you want more information, you could go on the NHS Direct website. For example, if you choose diarrhea and vomiting, there's a whole page there that tells you what to do. Okay, so this week you've got to fill in 2 worksheets, one on illnesses and one on accidents and emergencies. Fill them all in, send them to me, and that's your week's work done.